Hi there. I'm here to demo Roomly, the app that's been created in order to help you better manage your rental properties. But before we're able to do anything, we have to first log in as a landlord. If we check our register screen, we're able to see that when we create an account, we can make it as a tenant or a landlord. But I've already gone ahead for the brevity of this demo and created a landlord account for us. Today we are John L. And after we log in, obviously, we don't have any properties in our system. So in order to get that started, what we'll have to do is press down here and you'll be able to enter a property title and description, whatever you need for your property right here. So let's just say this is a very cozy apartment. And the description of it, oh so cozy and nice, everyone wants to live here. And it's on 123 Cozy Street, best street in town in Edmonton, Alberta, with the postal code blah 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 blah. And for our monthly rent, let's say living on Comfy Street's very expensive. It's $2,500 a month for a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom property. When we go to create a property, it'll show up right here, cozy apartment, with a little description and the address down here. But you see this does look a little blank, so what we'll do is, even the preview is blank, we'll click this edit property button, and over here we'll be able to create what our property looks like. We're able to drag along any number of these squares to create exactly what your property looks like. And let's say that we are working on a multi-floored house and not just an apartment. I'll be able to do floor 1 and we'll be able to have multiple floors as well. So let's say this top floor is like this, a couple of things like here. Sure, amazing. And go back and forth and see how it looks. There are also appliances that we can drag on. And let's say this room is the kitchen, for example. Kitchen. We can add a fridge here, say the oven's right here, and the microwave is all the way on this side. And let's say this is our laundry room. Over here we can put our washer and dryer. And let's say this is perfect. This is exactly what my apartment looks like. We can go over here and save the layout. And what'll happen is when we back out, we'll be able to see a representation of the layout we just built. But let's say that I misrepresented the upstairs. We can just simply go back into floor 1, move this around, and let's say that I missed a room down here. We can do this, save the layout once again, we'll go back, and it will automatically update to whatever layout we have. Over here we have announcements we can create, along with managing any of our tenants and editing our property as well. We can go ahead and edit any of this. Along with that, we have documents, payments, maintenance, and chores, but these don't really make sense to interact with just yet until we get a tenant into here. So, going back to our dashboard, I'll swap over to a new browser. This will be logged in to our tenant account, and it says here that we have to enter our property code. So, at the very top here, we'll see our property code, and we'll also see over here in our managed tenants. But if we enter this property code right here, it'll say we've submitted an application to the landlord. So not just anyone can assign themselves to any property. We'll have to get permission from the landlord to make sure that you are the tenant that we're trying to get. We head over to manage tenants. We'll see John tenant right over here. It was requested on this date, and we can just go ahead and simply approve that. And then now we can see that he is one of our current tenants. Heading back to our tenant page, we'll have to log in one more time, just really quickly. And when we do that, we'll be redirected to our brand new tenant dashboard. It'll have all of these things over here, so with a couple of quick actions as well. But first, really quickly, let's go say hi to our new tenant. As the landlord, we can go over here and create a new announcement, and let's just say, welcome, John. It's a pleasure to have you. We can go ahead and send this announcement out. And if we go back to our tenant dashboard and refresh, we'll see a little announcement down here. It's marked unread right now over here, so we can just go ahead and mark it as red to show that our messages are now 0. And we apparently have no rent due right now, but that's because we haven't interacted with the documents feature yet. Heading back over to the landlord page, we can go ahead and add a document right over here. And let's say we need to create a lease for a new tenant. Let's say this is John's lease. And this is obviously for our oh so cozy apartment. And for John tenant, let's say the start date is today. He's moving in right now, immediately. And he is not leaving or not allowed to leave until a year from now. Let's make sure that this works. Let's say perfect. And let's say his monthly rent is about $2,500. Sounds about right. Creating the lease over here, we can go ahead and see that this is all the information we filled out for John tenant. This is the document that he has access to for his lease, and along with that, if we go back to our documents, we can see this here as well. Obviously, tenants are able to see their own lease. Go back to our dashboard and we can see that we owe now this much in rent. We can head over to the landlord page again, and let's take a look at the payments page. We can see that we have one outstanding payment from John tenant. He still has not paid his rent for the month, and it is overdue because his rent is due today. The rent is calculated by our lease document over here. It automatically starts on the 8th and it will constantly calculate it month by month. So heading over to our tenant dashboard, if we head over to payments, we can see that we have an option to pay our rent now. If we click it here, we can pay with either Stripe or we can email him directly. Both options work as the deployment of this app, but I won't go too much into it just because paying with Stripe immediately will have me enter in card details, and I'm not trying to have that. Going into the maintenance tab as a tenant, very often there will be issues with the building or certain things will start to leak, break, and that's up to the landlord to come and fix. But how will they know what to fix if they're never notified about it? So let's say our tenant has a leaking faucet. And the detail description is the sink in the kitchen is leaking everywhere. Please help. And let's say this is a plumbing issue and the priority is about high. No one likes a wet kitchen. The preferred date, let's say we want him to come in tomorrow, ideally, and preferably in the afternoon when we're at home, right? We can submit this request directly through here and it will show up right here, just showing what past requests you've sent in already. And going back to the landlord page, we can go ahead and click on maintenance and we can see that a new outstanding maintenance request is here where we can resolve it or say it's in progress. And along with the dashboard, it will show up that we have one maintenance request. Last but not least, we can go over to chores, and let's say that we have a certain chore that needs to be completed every day in order for someone to live in this apartment. It is very snowy here in Edmonton, so let's say that we have to shovel the driveway, or I guess this is the apartment, so shovel the sidewalk. Say shovel the sidewalk around the building. And let's say that it doesn't need to happen too often. It hasn't snowed recently. So let's say that you'll have to do it on Thursday and then we can assign it to whichever tenant we want, but there's only John tenant here. So we'll assign it to him. And let's say we want this to be a weekly thing. No one likes too much snow built up. We can go ahead and create this chore right here. It'll show up like this. And then if we flash over to our John tenant account, we can go ahead and look at chores and we can see, oh, I now have an assigned chore of shoveling the sidewalk. Let's say we complete this, we can mark this as complete, and this won't go away just because we have set this as a recurring message or a recurring chore. So it'll show that we've done it for this week, but the due date for the next one is still incomplete because obviously it hasn't snowed yet. Head back to the dashboard, and once again, these are all of the things that we can see. It has updated with our maintenance request, pending chores, and our rent is due. Go ahead and do a quick payment over here, but yeah. There are profiles if you ever want to edit your full name or email once again, and signing out is as easy as that. And same thing with the landlord dashboard. If you do want to ever check your announcement history, it will show up right here, property settings, and if you ever want to check your profile, same thing as tenant. If you're done interacting with this property and you want to go potentially check on a new property, go ahead and click this button right here. It'll go back to your properties. And you still have that little preview that we love so much. And if everything is done, we can sign out for the night.